Major Warriors trade update. It looks like the Warriors are actively pursuing a deal for Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis. Several new reports dropped today indicating the Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy is exploring a trade for the 7'3" sharpshooting unicorn. And even though he's literally the perfect fit for the Warriors system, there is a huge red flag that Warriors fans should definitely be afraid of if this deal goes down. In today's video, I'll break down the latest reports, how Porzingis would fit with the Warriors using a secret analytics formula used by NBA executives, and the impact a trade for Porzingis would have on the Warriors. First, though, hi, I'm Arthur Ballesteros. This is Warriors Digest. We bring you daily videos breaking down everything going on with the Golden State Warriors. And if you're part of that percentage there who watches our videos on a regular basis, but you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the button. It is getting crazy in the NBA offseason. You don't want to miss a thing there, and it really helps the channel. We greatly appreciate it so we can break down news like this. Now, this latest article coming from NBA insider Brett Siegel, who says that there are major implications of the Celtics-Blazers trade involving Drew Holiday and Anthony Simons. Now, we saw that go down yesterday. Boston is shedding salary because of the Jason Tatum Achilles injury in the playoffs. They're basically going to have a lost year next year, so they're desperately trying to get down from the NBA's second apron salary cap restrictions. So Brett went on to say that according to his sources here, he's hearing that the Celtics are not done after trading Drew Holiday. This was the first domino to fall in the Boston offseason as the team remains heavily restricted by apron penalties. Boston's next order of business is continuing to evaluate the trade market for Kristaps Porzingis. Siegel goes on to say that over the last weeks, the Celtics have been engaged in several trade conversations with several teams regarding Porzingis, including the Warriors and Pelicans, sources said. It does not appear that Boston would need to entice teams to take on Porzingis' remaining salary, contrary to popular belief. And then we got the update here from NBA Central that the Lakers and Warriors are reported to be the teams who are in contact with the Celtics regarding Kristaps Porzingis. Now, all of this news here led to the San Francisco Standard, local newspaper here in San Francisco where the Warriors play. They put out this analysis today on the Warriors' potential offseason target list, including Porzingis. Now, this is from Tim Kawakami, longtime NBA insider. It's been reporting on the Warriors for decades now, since the Donyell Marshall days here in Golden State, if you remember those days. But Tim went on to say that everybody knows the Celtics are looking to cut down their payroll, and Porzingis, with 1 year left at $30.7 million, could be a prime option. The big salary is going to make this a difficult deal to put together given the Warriors' constraints and the Celtics' current second apron status. Kawakami went on to say here that to make it work, this would have to involve a third team that could take Kuminga's salary, then ship him to Boston. It'd take the Warriors sending out Moody and other assets, and Kuminga would have to agree to a contract. Very tricky. Agreed. Very tricky, but worth it because look at Porzingis here. 19.5 points a game, almost 7 boards last year, 2 assists. He's 7'2", some would say 7'3", and he shoots his threes at 41%. I mean, the dude is a baller. We all know that, but there is a major red flag here with Kristaps Porzingis, and that is his injury history. The guy has not played a full season in the NBA ever. I think it's been since like his second year in the NBA since he's played over 55 games. And when you look at what happened last year, he was coming off of a surgery that happened in the offseason. He missed the first 17 games because of, it was like an ankle and knee issue combined. Then he got this mysterious upper respiratory illness, which some say it's long COVID related. Some say it's something else. Last time I talked about Porzingis in a video breakdown, people blasted me for even bringing COVID into the conversation here, but this is a very real situation that has kind of left the Boston medical staff just perplexed as to what happened to Porzingis as he kept having to miss games during the regular season because of this respiratory illness and the effects from it. And then we really saw the downturn in the playoffs here. As we look at what happened in the playoffs, he didn't miss any games, but he was heavily limited, often unavailable in the second half. And in game 5 of the East semis versus the Knicks, he had sat out the entire second half due to breathing injuries. And across the postseason, he only averaged 7 points on 31% shooting in 11 games for the Celtics. And, the coaches confirmed that he couldn't breathe in multiple games and likened his symptoms to energy zaps and fatigue. Not the type of guy that you want to pay $30 million for and rely on in the playoffs when this still seems to be a lingering issue. There's a lot of talk in Boston about how they just can't really pinpoint what's going on with Porzingis and this injury here. And when you look at his playoff stats over the 4 years that he has played in the playoffs, and this is why the Warriors would need him, is for this extended playoff run to get a little bit of scoring out of that 5 spot, to get some rim protection, to get somebody who can stretch the floor like he can, like no other center in the league can. He's got deep elite range. But look at what happened last year. Only able to start 7 of the 11 Celtics playoff games. Again, only scoring 7.7 points. His 3-point shooting dipped to 15% on 2.5 attempts per game. Field goal shooting, again, 31%, only able to play 21 minutes there. And you see he kind of has a history of not performing up to his regular season stats in the playoffs. Now, the year before, when the Celtics won the championship in 2024, he only averaged 12 points a game during that playoff run, only starting in 4 games, only playing 7 overall. Now, he had some injury issues there as well. But you see, even going back to 2020, he only averaged 13 points in 7 games when he played for the Mavericks there in the playoffs. So not somebody who lights it up in the playoffs. Major red flag. But he's still really enticing here because of what he is able to do and just being that unicorn at 7'3", shooting his threes at 40%, elite rim protection, but a lot of the knocks on him as well. He doesn't defend against physical players. He's not good when matched up against other centers who are really physical. His defense is average at best, although he is a really good rim protector, getting about a block and a half in only like 28 minutes or so over the past season there. But now let's apply our favorite tool, cosine similarity. If you're new to this channel, welcome here. This is an advanced math formula that NBA executives use to see how a player will fit with the team. Now, all of this looks confusing. If you've seen this before, you know it, but I'm going to run through it real quickly here. The way that this works, cosine similarity and all of this math, NBA teams use this to find player replacements. They compare rookies to veterans, or they can cluster players by style, which is kind of what we're going to do here with Kristaps Porzingis and see how he fits into the Warriors system. So what we're looking for is a number close to 1. When we run all the math, the closer we get to 1, the more that means that player matches the style that we're looking for here. So this is the style vector running the analytics on exactly what the Warriors need out of the center position going into next season to give them the best shot at winning a championship. Those different parameters break down to 3-point shooting percentage, block percentage, rebounds per game, passing, and their defensive rating or their defensive plus minus. So when we take this here and we run, why isn't this showing up? There we go. When we run the calculation here using Kristaps Porzingis' stats from last year and comparing that into the vector that the Warriors need, we get a score of 0.991, practically as close as you can get to 1, meaning he is an exceptional stylistic fit for the Golden State Warriors system, rating a nearly perfect alignment with the team's ideal center profile. When we've run this analytics model before with other players like Brook Lopez, he scores a 0.97. When we did this with Bobby Portis, he scored a 0.96. Great fits. Porzingis even better at 0.99. You basically can't find a better statistical fit for this Warriors system and what they need out of the center position here. So, I mean, it begs the question, what do you think the Warriors should do here? Do you think they should be trying to work a deal to get Kristaps Porzingis? When I explored this before and these rumors came up initially, I first was all in, but the more I research, the more I look into this mystery respiratory illness with Porzingis, the more I look into his just injury history to begin with, I don't think this is a good idea for the Warriors to eat up $30 million of their salary cap this year with a guy we don't know if we're going to be able to rely on, not only just in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. I think that money is just spent in a better spot here. And when we look at like some of the complexity that it would take to get a deal like this done, it's just crazy. Like, this is kind of a mock that I was trying to put together just to find some way to make salaries match, to make all of these things match up in order to land Porzingis on the Warriors. As you can see, incredibly complicated, would most likely involve giving up Jonathan Kuminga, who would need to be spun off to another team there, and Moses Moody. I don't know. I just think that the Warriors can find a solution here, hopefully, that is going to fit more realistically within their salary cap limitations, whether it be a mid-level exception type of deal at $14.1 million, trying to bring in either Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis, or maybe seeing, I think that when you're talking about spending about $30 million on a center, that money to me right now would be better spent looking for a way to get Naz Reid into the fold. Now, I just think that all of this is out of the question. I don't think that this is going to be realistic for the Warriors, and I think that it's just too high a price to pay for a guy with too many questions and too many limitations in the playoffs. But I want to hear what you have to think. You let me know. Do you think the Warriors should be pursuing Porzingis? He's a perfect fit. How do you feel about it? Do you think this would be too much to give up for it? If they're able to get a rock bottom price for Porzingis, sure. But the salaries just don't match up. I don't think that there's any way that this can happen. And I will make a note here. I don't think that this is going to be as easy for the Warriors to do, because it's very clear that the Celtics want expiring deals. When they did that deal for Anthony Simons, a big part of that was the fact that his deal is expiring at the end of the year, and they were able to get out from under Jrue's Holiday's contract, which had like $75 million remaining on it. The Celtics want draft picks and they want expiring deals, two things that the Warriors don't have right now. But if you get a third, a fourth team involved here, they could potentially work something out. But I want to hear what you have to think. Kristaps Porzingis to the Warriors, does that excite you? Does that solve the problems? Do you think it's worth the cost? I have a feeling what everybody's going to say, but surprise me. Sell me on why you think Porzingis should be here down in the comments. And other than that, unless any breaking news happens today, I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.